posted one video this morning, but I forgot to mention something that I think is really important, not for myself. I mean, that's why I'm doing this, is kind of a record for myself and just to play around in this space. But for a few months, actually a few years, I mean, I have watched my wife go through various degrees of anxiety and working with certain medications. And throughout my life, I've never had any thought of or felt any need for any kind of a medication. And in fact, I've always thought of, not always maybe, but certainly in the last years, that maybe the medication just kind of clouds our channel between the universe and God and where we want to be and our ability to listen. And so when I came back from working with the federal government in China, I really was in a poor state mentally. It was just so stressful. Transitioning from one career to being a business owner. So much so that, I would just not feel good, and I would have my pounding heart and just feel really off with even the simplest things, a little hike or a walk. And finally I listened to my wife, and I went and saw a counselor and was prescribed some medication. That medication seemed like it messed with my eyes a little bit. That was kind of a Prozac, but it helped. And I went on to another one, escitalopram, just low dosages, and I was able to overcome that debilitating part of the anxiety, and my life in the meantime was changing, and things were kind of working out, not as I expected, but working out generally. And so the last couple of months, I just had, on the quiet, just gone off the medication. But then I realized, as I mentioned in my previous video, with my wife actually taking a trip for the next 3 weeks or so to visit my son and daughter-in-law and help them move, that there was anxiety around being alone. And I thought, well, what's with this? And I was talking with my wife and just being very open and honest about it all. And I realized that, maybe it's maybe not the ideal to be on the medication, but it's a help. And it's much better to have that help and be able to feel good, to have that leg up, so to speak, to feel good without the additional burden that the efforts I'm making to rise on a spiritual level and emotional and so on, we're being hampered by this pent-up anxiety, energy of anxiety, and that anything that assisted that, even if it had some potentially dulling, desensitizing, I don't even have any evidence for that really, even if it had some negative consequences, that it was so much better to alleviate myself of that burden and the baggage of the mental and emotional anxiety. that by helping to tamp that down a little bit, I could then focus on rising in other ways and focusing on the things that I wanted to accomplish and focusing on generating ideas. So I went back on several days ago, and I've been feeling better. I've been able to keep things in perspective a little bit more and be able to talk my ego down from the cliff, so to speak. I think for me, there was just this general feeling of something's not right or not going to happen well or not going to turn out well. And little flashes of disaster on the horizon, right? But not that that doesn't occur at all anymore, but the emotional, mental toll of it is, I'm more able to absorb it. So I encourage anyone listening to allow yourself to be helped and not to be afraid of it. Listen to yourself, listen to your body, yes, but realize that the anxiety about taking medication could also be a symptom of just being anxious in the first place. But there are plenty of people that do take medication and are greatly helped by it. It's not a cure-all, fix-all, but if you're careful about it and purposeful and keep working on yourself on the inside, not looking at medicine as the cure-all, be-all, savior, deliverer, right? Like I've said before, the power is within you, but the medicine is just an assist, and maybe just a temporary one. I certainly think it is for me. The more that my outward circumstances improve, there's just not an impetus for that. So we'll see. But right now, I'm glad that I'm on the medication.